It's safe to say that Oregon fans are happy with the way things turned out when quarterback Terrell Pryor chose to sign with Ohio State over Oregon, and the Ducks soon after landed Jeremiah Masoli. The two sides will meet in the 96th Rose Bowl for the first time since Pryor became a Buckeye. Now, I spoke with a member of the athletic department earlier this afternoon who expects a formal press conference to name Altman as the head coach of the University of Oregon men's basketball team to take place tomorrow afternoon. Of all the losses suffered here to USC over the 49-year losing streak, this one might hurt the most. Oregon State outgained the Trojans 482 yards to 429, had a 2-to-1 edge in turnovers, and the 36 points scored by the Beavers were the most USC has given up since losing to Texas in the 2006 Rose Bowl. But because of some first-half breakdowns in the red zone, it was not enough to take down the Trojans. First on the agenda is to assemble a coaching staff, which may or may not include his former assistants from Creighton and Ernie Kent's former guys here at Oregon. That does include longtime assistant Kenny Payne. You can make a pretty good case for the hair or the beard, but most would probably agree that the signature to Robin's ensemble is this big O that's signed by many of Oregon State's players and coaches, and he wears it to every game. The M's and Salem Kaiser Volcanoes are gearing up for the final night game ever here at Civic Stadium. 7:05 is the first pitch. That's because tomorrow's game has been moved up at 4 o'clock to accommodate those fans who want to watch the Oregon-Boise State game. From the hand-operated scoreboard to the wooden bleachers, the song is every bit a part of that nostalgic atmosphere here at Civic Stadium. And for the fans who occupy these seats for every pitch, it just wouldn't be an M's game without it. When it comes to rooting for their favorite teams, different fans show varying levels of dedication. Some simply stand up and cheer, while others take it to the next level with a little paint on the chest. And then there's this guy.
And he is becoming quite the celebrity, Lamar, around Corvallis.
His name is Eric Robbins, and he's a senior at Oregon State with a double major in math and economics. And he's become one of the most recognizable figures in the stands at Beaver athletic events. You can make a pretty good case for the hair or the beard, but most would probably agree that the signature to Robin's ensemble is this big O that's signed by many of Oregon State's players and coaches, and he wears it to every game.
And at the Cal football game in 2008, I was in the student section and they were handing out a whole bunch of props to everyone because they were going to do a shoot. And I used body language and I said, hey, I mean, you don't have to give me something, but I got some really nice hair and it'd be really nice if you gave me something. And they gave me the O and I've been using it ever since.
And you won't find Robbins at just the football and basketball games either. He's a regular at many of the less publicized events such as softball, men's and women's soccer games, and even swim meets.
I went to the Civil War volleyball game. Just the whole outfit together, and I just thought, you know what, this is epic. There should be someone like me at every game.
And since he started his quest to support OSU athletics, players, coaches, and fans from all across Beaver Nation have taken notice.
I actually got asked to pose for a picture in Winco once, so that was fun. I don't think that I'm like the most hardcore or the best fan, I'm just the most visible.
Robbins is set to graduate in the fall, and if he is able to find a job that will allow him to keep his hair and his beard, he hopes to be able to show off his dedication for a little while longer. In Corvallis, I'm Brian Elder, KVAL Sports.
Let's go!
Batter up.
We're taking the afternoon off.
If you've spent an evening at Civic Stadium, you've heard it, and odds are you remember it.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game today.
It's the song that is just about as much a part of Civic Stadium as the game of baseball itself. And since 1989, it's the tune that has gotten M's fans in the mood for baseball.
It's called It's a Beautiful Day for a Ball Game by the Harry Simone Singers. It was made in the early 1940s, and the Los Angeles Dodgers have used it forever to open up their radio broadcasts, and it's just something that I really thought was very baseball, and fans have become enamored with it.
From the hand-operated scoreboard to the wooden bleachers, the song is every bit a part of that nostalgic atmosphere here at Civic Stadium. And for the fans who occupy these seats for every pitch, it just wouldn't be an M's game without it.
I like it. It's kind of a catchy tune. I like the idea of if we're out of money, we can always share a little hole in the fence.
Oh, it just gets you right in the mood to get yelling and stomping and
enjoy the game.
And even though the Emeralds are in the process of finalizing a move into PK Park for next season, they do plan on bringing the song with them.
Have to. I mean, that's the Emeralds, and as we're telling everybody, if this move indeed does happen, everything is going to be status quo. It's going to be the same M's that everybody's known for over 50 years.
And that is music to the fans' ears. In Eugene, I'm Brian Elder, KVAL Sports. After Friday night's 17-1 drubbing of Tennessee, the Bats turned cold for the Oregon State baseball team in a 9-2 loss to the Volunteers on Saturday. OSU going for the series win in the final game of the Pape Grand Slam against Tennessee. Defense was the story of the day. Greg Peavy gets the batter to ground into the 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning. Peavy allowed just 3 hits all day. Stephen McRae matched Peavy pitch for pitch. He struck out the side in the 4th inning and kept OSU from picking up a hit all the way until the 6th inning. Bottom of the 7th, the Beavers finally get to him. Brandon Hayes drops one just inside the left field line. That is good for a stand-up double to put OSU in business. Next batter, Parker Berberet cashes in one of just 3 hits for the Beavs. The single sends Hayes around, and the throw from center field is not in time. Oregon State takes a 1-0 lead. And in the top of the 9th, Peavy slams the door shut on the Vols. A complete game shutout for Peavy. Beavers win it 1-0. Peavy also struck out 9 batters in his first complete game. It was also his first shutout. No threat of a tsunami today, so Oregon and Hawaii squared off in a doubleheader. In Game 1, down 1 in the top of the 4th, Danny Pulfer singled back up the middle to score. Jack Martyr tied the game at 1 apiece. Bottom 6, the Rainbows get the lead back. David Freitas says aloha to that one, smashes his only hit of the game deep and gone into the trees past left field as Hawaii took Game 1 5-2. Game 2 was a different story. In the top of the 4th, after the Bows already had walked in 1 run for the Ducks, Connor Lettle gives them another. Jack Martyr gets nicked by the pitch. That brings in Sean Peterson to make it 2-0. Next batter, Little puts another one in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher, and Casey Cerna cruises home for an easy run. Oregon up 3-0. Costly mistakes for Hawaii as that winds up being the final. The sunshine of LA seemed to be just what Tawan Porter needed. Prior to Oregon's trip to Southern California, Porter had scored a total of 25 points on 21% shooting during the Ducks' 5-game losing streak. TP finally got the ball rolling against USC with 16 points to help Oregon snap that skid. And on senior day for UCLA at Pauley Pavilion, it was the Ducks senior who had the most memorable afternoon. Porter lit up the Bruins for 29 points, his 2nd best total of the season. He also came up big for Oregon down the stretch as the Ducks beat UCLA on the road for the first time in 6 years. Porter is now just 9 3-pointers shy of breaking the all-time conference record held by Salim Stoudemire. Across town, the Beavers bounced back from their loss at Pauley Pavilion to take USC down for their first win at the Galen Center. Oregon State was up to its old tricks on Saturday, forcing 20 turnovers and limiting the Trojans to just 29% shooting from the field. And the Beavers picked up the season sweep of the Trojans for the first time in 7 seasons with a 49-44 victory. A very important win as OSU battles to remain ahead of Oregon, Stanford, and Washington State for that first-round bye in the Pac-10 tournament. At 7-9 in the Pac-10, the Beavers are currently in 7th place, 1/2 game ahead of Stanford. And for a lot more on the big weekend in LA, be sure to tune in tonight for the encore edition of Inside the Pack. KVAL has the exclusive coverage of both Oregon and Oregon State's big victories from Southern California. That is in just a couple of minutes after the news. Lightning did not strike twice in Vancouver during the gold medal game in men's hockey. Team USA fell just short of a second upset of Team Canada as the host nation topped the U.S. 3-2 in an overtime thriller. Sidney Crosby scored the winning goal at the 7:40 mark in overtime to give the Canadians their 2nd men's hockey gold medal in the last 3 Olympics.